Going back to South African politics. Okay, so listen, this year is election year in the United States. We have someone who doesn't remember very much, and we have someone who is a felon. Y'all know who it is. Felon doesn't remember very much. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've always told y'all there is no Democrats and Republican heaven. So we already know who we should be looking for. But there are those who really thinks that it matters. So with that being said, do you go with the felon or do you go with the one that doesn't remember a lot? You know what I mean by don't remember, right, y'all? He doesn't remember. He won't remember the code, but it's okay. Tell us about your politics here in South Africa. What are we doing?
That's a very tricky one. When it comes to our politics, basically, we're in a position now where everyone who's been telling us lies is trying to cover it up and say, hey, we'll change things.
Corruption.
Know? Yes.
Lies. Definitely. What does Donald Trump call lies? Fake news. Yeah, they got fake news going on over here. So, okay, let's go back. Yeah. Democracy? Is it?
No.
Okay.
There's mainly no democracies. It's just, how can I say it?
What do you call it? Is it ran by one man?
Yes.
Basically. Okay, it's not a democracy. So it's a monarchy. I can't pronounce the word. Pronounce it for me.
It's lost me. But basically what we have, what you guys have, you have
democracy. We have Democrats and Republicans. They don't have many parties.
Yeah, with us, it's basically, I don't know, more than 15, 20 parties, and then we pick for who we feel is right to represent.
Okay, they got 15 parties. Really?
So currently, for the longest, it has been ANC ever since the apartheid ended. And now the issue that we're currently having now is that with them in power, we expected things to change. Yes, they did change, but then they went back to normal, you know. And now our unemployment has dropped. Like literally, it is bad. The amount
dropped or gone up?
Sorry, gone up.
Okay, the opposite way.
And then when it just comes basically to them actually fixing things, I just feel like no one wants to fix things.
Okay, so let me understand. We got 15 different parties.
Yeah.
What is the name of the party that is in office now?
ANC.
NC?
Yeah, ANC.
ANC.
Yeah.
And then what are the leading contender to ANC?
DA. EFF. And
oh, Lord. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Is it really 15?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
But ANC...
So basically the ones that are you could basically say the ones that are currently in the forefront, the top four in my opinion, would be ANC, DA, EFF, and there's that one or two parties that come and go, but those three stay stagnant, stay there.
Okay, you know? So how long has ANC been in leadership?
Longer than 27 years.
Since apartheid, you said? Yeah. Since 1992?
Yeah.
Since 1992, ANC
has been in power.
And since that time, they have done a lot of things.
Oh, definitely. When Mandela was released, a lot of things were done.
Correct.
You know, a lot of people, yes, do have... You know, something I'll say before we jump into this topic heavily. Speaking on this topic, it's like speaking on religion. Because people will feel very touched.
Politics is like that. You don't do that at Thanksgiving dinner, at Christmas. No, you'll fall out. People have been killed, shot behind Republic or Democrat. I mean, in the same family. You know.
So just to put it out there, I got no bad blood. I'm just like everyone out there trying to figure out what's the best solution for the youth. But anyway, getting back to it, I just honestly feel when it comes to the youth, that's the most important thing that grows a place, you know. There's certain presidents that focused on that. They understood that if Neo has reached the age of 40, I cannot be focusing on Neo. I should be focusing on the next generation.
Right.
You know, these are the people that are going to fund the country and fund the
next leaders. They're going to be the ones that take over. But what happens here?
I feel like they did that, but then they lost it, and then we were overpromised. I think you guys have a similar thing where you've just been overpromised every single time and nothing is done. And when elections come, that's when things want to be done. That's when roads want to be fixed.
In the United States, we are overpromised as Black people.
Okay.
Right? So everyone is always waiting for the Black culture or family or what have you to be brought up or in a better place, from reparations, to, we are victims per se, or some think that they're victims. We're always waiting for that president to even the playing field. They do certain things, they promise certain things, they get in position, and then that doesn't happen. Because guess what? As a president, you can't do for one group of people. You have to do for all people. And it all depends on, the Democratic Party has been the Black party since the beginning of time, per se.
Okay.
It actually was the Republican Party. Because we are more so conservative. Black people were, or used to be, very conservative. True. We used to be very conservative. We got married, we had children, we did those things. Now, the Democratic Party is very liberal. They do whatever they want. They create laws where it's quite okay to do things that do not follow or align with what the United States was built on.
Okay.
Our founding fathers, the Bible, things of that nature. A lot of them do not follow the Bible anymore. They say things like, this was put together, by the Europeans. This is for white Christians. This is a way to keep people into slavery.
But where do you feel we went wrong? Okay, where do you feel you guys went wrong?
By doing that? Okay, so there was a time where Black people got it right.
Okay.
I would say somewhere around the 20s to maybe the 50s. Family was the thing. Black people were rich. You even have a Black Wall Street. We had money. We did what we were supposed to do. Then there came where we wanted to segregate. And we were kind of segregated then, but then segregation came. Then things started happening, different. I'm gonna bring it forward. Around 1960s, the 60s, mid 60s to later 60s, hurt Black families a lot because that's when the federal government decided that, you know what, y'all doing way too good. I'm gonna throw something in here. Right? I'm gonna throw a wrench into this game. The wrench was financial assistance, welfare. But in order to accept this welfare, you can't have no man living in the house. So then the Black man is now being taken out of the home because the Black woman decided to accept incentives or a check versus the man. That was, I think, the major problem with the Black family or culture in America. Women decided to accept that check versus relying on that man, that leadership, being married. That nuclear family, right? And I can imagine that it was a very difficult decision, but I just don't think they realized you'd have done much better if you just stuck with your husband.
It's the same thing with us, though.
And then what happens is once you get in that system, you can never it's like a spinning wheel because you can't get out of it, and then you have another baby. Now you're in a little deeper. So all that needs to be, people need help. Children need to be taken care of. I do believe in some form of government assistance, but it should have a time limit on it. We need to have some restrictions involved.
It's so much. It's the same with us.
You have it here? Yeah, y'all have government assistance here?
Yeah, we do.
I didn't know.
But it doesn't do much if you pay attention. I had a conversation with one of my friends, a very close friend of mine that's in government, And I asked him, I was like, why? So basically there's something for people who are unemployed at the current moment, and they receive a grant from the government.
They do receive a grant for unemployment. Yeah. For how much,
350 Rand.
For how long?
A month.
A month, 350. So it's not dependent on the job that they got laid off from?
No. If you're unemployed, you get 350 Rand a month. So now I feel, so many things, yes, I get their vision, I understand, I just feel the implication is wrong. And this is where our youth is currently standing at this moment, is that we have all these parties. I've seen my parents complain, I've seen clients complain, I've seen this, I've seen that, I've seen this. And now we're trying to figure out how can we change things? How can we get it right? And a lot of peers that I have said that the only way they feel that we can get it right is if we scrap everyone out of parliament. Because basically our parliament is a joke, to be honest. We can't even get through seminars without disruption.
Right.
You know, it's
Then somebody dies, huh?
No, besides dying, it's just it just feels like sometimes we're watching a clown show, and
Absolutely.
and you're trying to represent South Africa, and that's what's currently happening. And I don't think they really take it serious because, you know, the successful people, if they want, they can just easily go. You know, and what about the people that can't make it out? What about the people that can't make a difference?
I think as a world problem, we've lost decorum. You know, there used to be a way that you handled yourself when you were in certain environments. It was certain things you said, your posture was a certain way. It was just a certain amount of respect that went on for that type of business. And I think now the liberal agenda has said it doesn't have to be that way anymore. Let's just like wearing a suit to a office that you work at.
True.
You don't need to do that anymore. You can just, exactly. And some things we embrace, and you know, that really changes who you are in your mindset. People don't believe that the influences, that things that we do and say, the way we present ourselves, it actually changes the way you think.
True.
They don't believe that. They still think that they can be just as polished and about business with a pair of what they call them, jeans and sneakers, or jeans and Nikes or whatever.
Yes,
You cannot. You cannot. If you go in formal, you act formal. You really do. So there's going to be a change. I'm not saying that it can't be good business. It's just that there is a change. But that's what most of us would call traditional.
Yes.
And some don't want tradition anymore. But guess what? Tradition has always worked.